you guys. Welcome to my channel. I'm Justine with State of Grace Tarot, and today is day 11 of my 31 Days of January Tarot Challenge, where I am reading a 15 card spread this week for a question out of the Ultimate Tarot Practice Question book. I don't know about you, but I am so glad that it's finally Saturday and we are at the weekend and ready to have a little bit of fun. All right, so I have my original Rider-Waite-Smith deck, my spread guide that's helping me a little bit, and I also think, the last couple of readings I've used an Oracle deck, and I am vibing with the Wild Unknown right now, and so I'm really feeling drawn to using this. So let's pull it out, get it ready for some of the fun. And let's pick out our question from our client today. All right. So Hunter says, I have heard the calling to become a priest, but I know that means I can never marry. I'm very in love with a woman in my life right now. Which path will lead me to the most happiness? The most happiness. Okay. I think this is a good one because this spread specifically is for decisions. Like you have your decision 1, decision 2, or alternative outcome 1, alternative outcome 2. So I think this one is very fitting for the question from Hunter. I'm trying to get it set up so I can still see the question over there. So let's get just a general sense of the matter from the Archetypes deck. This was a little bit clunky to try to shuffle. Some days I do better than others, though. See? That one was better. It'll go together. Okay, I'm just going back in the same order. Good, good. Hunter wants to know, what is his best path to happiness? And don't we all want to know that? Cool. We have the fault line. Interesting. Let's see what the fault line is all about. The fault line is the fissure, the crack, the weak link. Imagine walking across a frozen lake that begins to crack before your eyes. No matter how optimistic and brave you might be, panic ensues. You become fearful and tense and long for stable ground. Such is the energy of the fault line. It's the energy of walking on eggshells, of precarious dynamics, of sensing what is ready to break open into chaos. It's likely this cracking open is overdue, as fault lines develop slowly and naturally from underlying elemental pressures. This card comes as a potent warning not to deny the shakiness that's afoot. It's much better to prepare yourself for change than to walk along the fault line pretending all is well. There's no easy fix for the situation at hand. It will require a foundational shift that alters the current dynamics from the ground up. So when light, this is redefining reality, breaking open. When dark, it's precariousness, pretending, delusion. So to me, this tells me, maybe Hunter is framing the question wrong. When people hear callings to become priests, there's a reason for hearing that calling. And I don't want to say it's more than, love here on earth. But, maybe the calling is a stronger love, a more enduring love. So let's see what we can see in the tarot. I know I'm not really explaining that well, but maybe we ask the question of, why is Hunter feeling the calling to become a priest? Maybe there's other ways for him to honor that calling. Maybe it's not priesthood. Maybe there's something there. Maybe there is a calling, but is it a priest? Maybe there's alternatives that don't require him giving up love. Maybe love is the test. His test to his commitment of priesthood. So many things to unpack there. All right. So here in the current situation, we have the Page of Cups. We have the Six of Wands and the Chariot. We have Seven of Swords, the High Priestess, Queen of Cups, Two of Wands, Five of Cups, the Emperor, the Knight of Swords, Queen of Swords, Hierophant. Hierophant? I feel like I pronounce it different every time. The Eight of Wands, the Lovers, the Star. Interesting. I feel like one thing, when the Lovers show up, or any cups, in a reading about love, it's kind of interesting to see where they are in the spread. The Lovers are down here in the advice and where actions to be taken, where you have the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Cups. You have the Page of Cups up here in the present state of the matter. Hunters may be feeling very emotional. Pages are also messengers, so maybe there's a message here that we can open up for Hunter. I'm also drawn to the Star down here and the influences outside of our control or to be aware of, which feels like his higher calling, feels like where he's being called to. It's the North Star. It's hope. What are you being drawn towards? What is he being drawn towards? Looking at the elements that we have. So cups, we have the Page, we have the Five of Cups, the Queen of Cups, so 3 cups. Wands, our passion, Apologies if you can hear my dog moan and groan as he gets more comfortable on the floor next to me. Wands, passion. So we have the 6, we have the 8, we have the 2. So 3 there as well. Swords, we have the 7, the Knight, the Queen. So 3 there as well. We have no pentacles, right? None. So this is not about material things. Like his decision does not, money or anything material is not going to factor into his decision. We don't need to know that here. Money is not the issue. The issue is emotions and passion and your thoughts and mind and communication. That's the energy here. The major arcana, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So interesting, if you're thinking of the numbers, we have 3 cups, we have 3 wands, we have 3 swords, and we have 6 major arcana cards. So, and 3 times 2 is 6, so it's 2 sets of 3. I think that is about, threes are about growth and forward movement, and sixes are about, stability in that growth and, getting comfortable and, abundance. So to me, it feels like, there's bigger things at play, bigger energies. It's could be partly due to his feeling called to be a priest. It's not an emotional calling. It's, it deals with passion. It deals with higher energies. It's emotional. It's thoughtful. It's a passionate thing. All right, so let's look at the current situation. We got the Page of Cups, we have the 6 of Wands, and we have the Chariot, which both, movement, I see movement here in the 6 and the Chariot. The Chariot feels inevitable. You are still going to keep moving forward. The 6 of Wands, is someone who's coming in and being celebrated, someone who's returning from a war or a battle and, has accomplished something. And so he's, feeling celebrated. So maybe there's a little bit to unpack here, and maybe that's the Fisher. Like maybe Hunter is wanting to be a priest for the wrong reasons, or maybe it's not the priesthood for the wrong reasons. Maybe it's the love. I feel like, the Page of Cups is looking towards the Wands. So maybe the idea of a marriage and having the white picket fence and the big wedding is something that traditionally people are very proud of, and something that society tells us is what we should want. I see that energy here. So maybe this is like a false a false celebration, somebody who has a lot of pride and needs to let go of that. Up here in one of the outcomes, one of the choices, we have the Seven of Swords, the Five of Cups, and the Hierophant, which could be, maybe this woman that he's very much in love with is going to feel betrayed, like he's leaving her for the priesthood. And maybe, I don't know, both of these kind of feel to me like the woman is not is not the right path. So if we go over here, we have the High Priestess, which is, the more mystical, divine, unknown energy. We have the High Priestess, and we have the Hierophant, which are both about the mystical and divine energy and learning and knowledge. So we have one, a really structured way, and then we have one that's less structured and more esoteric. We have the Emperor, who is someone who is strong and stable in their convictions. He's the King of Kings. He's steady like these mountains behind him. He has fire energy, and he's strong in his convictions. And there's the Eight of Wands, which is about movement and passion, and maybe there is a path where he does not go to the priesthood, and he's able to lead people in a different way, and with passion and a more esoteric, less structured way that he can help people. Down here in the advice or actions to be taken, we have the Lovers, the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Cups. When we have a knight and a queen, maybe it's two people in the situation. Maybe he is, younger than her, or he looks up to her in some way. This could be the girl that he loves. Maybe she's very emotional. Maybe she's manipulative. And because we have the knight here who's, moving fast and cutting to the truth, and, maybe being a little bit rash and reckless and not paying attention. We have the Lovers, who are about coming together. So maybe he needs to find the truth and seek more clarity. The knight is leaving the queen and running to the Lovers. So maybe he needs to find the truth out about his relationship a little bit more. Looking at influences that are external or to the situation that we need to be aware of. We have the Two of Wands, which is about, planning and exploring and looking out over the domain. It's very much, someone who's getting ready to go on a journey. And then we have the Queen of Swords, who's, very stern and, very smart and is very strong in her beliefs. And we have the Star, which, I've already kind of touched on about, being hope or being the path. So, over here, I think is the option of going into the priesthood. It's going to feel wrong emotionally to leave the woman that he loves. But, there's two cups over here that the guy in the Five of Cups is not focusing on. There's hope here. She may feel like he's leaving her, but it's probably for good. Maybe there's, I don't know, some betrayal. I also feel like over here in option 2, yes, we have a man and a woman and we have passion, but there's not a lot of love here. Like the High Priestess is distant, the Emperor is distant. So this Eight of Wands energy feels like it's going to fizzle out at some point. So to me, the advice is, maybe this love is fleeting and not necessarily the strongest of loves. And that maybe Hunter is feeling that. Me personally, I would lean towards the path of the priest, the calling. It's going to be hard. It's not going to feel good. Now, it's Hunter's decision, and this is just one way of reading the cards. But I feel like that's the message that I am seeing here. Let me know your thoughts, and if you read these cards differently, or if you have anything that you see that you'd like to add. I think this one was a pretty cool one that I really enjoyed. Thank you all so much for joining me today as I work through these readings and and learn more about my relationship with the tarot. It's been a fun exercise. So with that being said, happy Saturday, and I will see you again tomorrow.